beggars can't.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
scared you, didn't you? Like,
Yeah.
he's too good at it. He's a little too good at it.
That's fine. We can do that. Do you know what episode it is?
It's 42.
Yeah, the Jackie Robinson
yeah,
episode. Okay.
Yes, of course, man. And I said I was gonna remember because of that.
Yeah, so there we go. And we wore our Dodgers jerseys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whew.
Dodgers in the playoffs right now, going up against the Milwaukee Brewers. You've been following that?
Yeah, let's just pivot to a sports podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, they're making big plays out there in the Major League Baseball field.
That's nice. Yeah, do you watch baseball at all?
Only when I come over here.
Oh,
I
okay.
see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it on. Yeah, that's the extent. Or like when I'm on the bus and someone next to you is watching it, like I told you happened.
Yeah, might as well take a look.
Yeah, that dude was like celebrating and being like, yeah. So like I knew the Dodgers were doing well.
Nice. That's exciting. I mean, that's a fun
I didn't mind that.
atmosphere to be around, I think.
I was like, man, it's kind of cool that he's so comfortable on the public bus, like just kind of chilling in his own space like that. I guess that could be conceived as annoying in some ways too, but
Yeah, I guess depending on what mood I was in, I
Yeah.
would be annoyed by it, but it's also charming. Yeah, so today we're talking about episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 of season 2 of the Clone Wars. Now, it's appropriate. We're deep into the throes of October. We've maybe got our spookiest episodes yet.
truly, did we? I was like, did we line this up on purpose? And by we, I mean you, because it feels like these were Halloween episodes.
Yeah, no, I didn't line them up on purpose, and they did come out in November originally.
Okay.
But it worked out. And I was thinking, because I remember probably a couple months ago at this point, but you were like, is there like horror Star Wars stuff that we're going to get to? And this was what I was thinking of when I was like, yeah, there are some Clone Wars episodes that kind of would be considered horror adjacent, I feel like.
There's creepy vibes here.
Yeah. So yeah, it's what do we got? We got Landing Point Rain, we got Weapons Factory, we got another episode, and then Brain Invaders. What is that third episode called? Legacy of Terror.
Ooh.
So before we jump in, I guess we can get general thoughts, but I mean, do you have any even more general than these episodes Star Wars thoughts from the last time we've talked? Any Star Wars news in your life?
No big Star Wars news. I've just been playing a lot of Star Wars Unlimited. A card connection has been made today.
Yes, remember I told you.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's one of these instances where like the card art is kind of a spoiler, but just looking at it like that, I'm not really thinking too hard about like, oh, that's a clone trooper who's been like infected by this brain worm or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Brain invader.
Yeah, there's a card, Mind Worm. Makes both leaders lose their abilities. Not so good.
Yeah.
But annoying.
I stopped using it since now I use my leader, but when I was like very new at the game and not utilizing the leader ability, it was cool. It was helpful.
Yeah. It just kind of levels the playing field a little bit. I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Unlimited as well. Set 6, Secrets of Power, coming out very soon.
Ooh.
Pre-release events for that are going to be happening at the end of this month.
Nice. So you get the cards early, or all of them, or no?
You can like buy boxes early. You don't like guaranteed get all the cards, but yeah, they're like store events where you get the cards.
Well, sir, I mean, you are capable of getting any of the cards from them. Okay.
Yes, I believe so. I've never done a pre-release event for a card game before, but I'm definitely going to for this one. And you should too if you want. You have to.
Okay. Who are the leaders?
There are a lot of leaders. A lot of them you don't know yet. We've got people like Dryden Voss, DJ.
Just DJ?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
DJ.
Well, I know Poggle the Lesser.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Oh, he is one?
No, no, no. But I'm just saying, you know him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There definitely are some, you know. Oh, there's a new Admiral Yularen leader.
Oh, is that the guy who like we keep cutting to making like decisions about units and whatnot?
Yeah, he's always on Anakin's flagship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
don't like him.
no. Well, yeah. I mean, and he's a little weird, and we do know that he makes it all the way to the Empire, and he's in the original movies as like a background character. Um, I'm trying to think who else we got that you would know. Sabe, one of Padme's handmaidens. You know how she had all those doubles?
Oh, Padme. Yeah, was thinking Ahsoka for a second. I was like, what?
Yeah, all those Ahsoka doubles.
Yeah.
Sabe, she's a new one. There's a new Mon Mothma leader.
Oh, cool.
Uh,
Oh, I saw an awesome. Oh, maybe it was one of Padme's decoys. The card work for it was like really beautiful though.
it's like she's in like a tan robe, and she's like,
No, that's not it actually.
oh,
So
okay.
maybe I just saw another Padme piece that was really nice.
There's a new Padme leader. There's a new Palpatine leader. There's a Bail Organa leader. It's all like politicians and stuff.
Yeah, Bail. I'm gonna make a Bail Organa deck.
I've been playing Yularen because he's got a cool ability.
What is it?
It's attack with a unit and then attack with another unit that costs less, so you can just get 2 attacks in one turn.
Oh, nice. Kind of an upgrade to Leia there.
Yeah, it's like that, but for villainy cards and stuff. And then there's a new Leia leader too, but it's like old Leia from the sequel movies. Pretty good ability on there, but anyway.
Okay. Yeah, took me a second there. Old Leia from the sequel movies. So
yeah.
old lady Leia
New
from
Leia,
the sequel movies. Yeah.
The human being of Carrie Fisher is old. And I guess the only other Star Wars news I've continued reading Knights of the Old Republic comic book. I am on issue 25 or 26 of that, and it stays really good.
Has he enacted revenge yet upon these disgusting Jedi?
Hey, I can't spoil it. You got to check it out.
I
man.
do want.
It's good. It really. Every now and then there will be an issue where I'm like, okay, this isn't as exciting as it used to be in the first arc, and then like the next issue, I'll be like, no, I'm all the way back in now.
Okay, wow.
Like every now and then there's one issue that I'm a little bored during, but I would say for the most part it is really solid. And now we're getting like, I don't know. I remember when we talked about it, we were like, oh, like there's time to, since it is 50 issues, there's time to flesh out these people like Jarrell and Camper and all these side characters and things. And like they absolutely do that. And
wow.
they all become like pretty interesting. And yeah, I'm a big fan.
Nice. I am gonna have to check it out. And I hope he does get revenge. That's what I'd be reading for. I'd be rooting for him the whole time.
Yeah, I'll just say it goes interesting places with that, you know. So these episodes, what are your general temperatures on these?
Really good. I feel like we're on a roll.
Yeah.
And this season is a lot darker and things feel a lot more serious than the past season. Like kind of a big tonal switch, honestly, that has like stayed consistent. I thought they were going to kind of bounce back. I guess the Senator episode with Padme wasn't too serious, but I don't know, going from Cad Bane, then getting that little break, and then back to this is like, wow. And also, the animation looked really, really good again.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the ship battles in the opening were crazy. I was like, wow.
That first episode, the initial, like, drop down onto the planet, that is insane. Like,
there's also just like a lot more cinematic shots in general. And there's some in the later episodes too that I want to talk about that are like pretty cool. But yeah, they've like really stepped it up.
I totally agree. I would say on in my memory before rewatching these, I was like, oh yeah, Landing Point Rain, like the first one. That's the one I remember having like awesome action and being a great episode, and it is. It's super satisfying, but it is mostly like just action. There's not too much character stuff there.
Yeah.
But the one that stuck with me hard this time and was really weird and cool to me was the last one, Brain Invaders, where all the clones are getting turned on the ship. It really made me start thinking about a lot of stuff, and I'm like, what are they trying to say with this? But we'll get to it. But just the opening quote of like attachment is not compassion or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, holy crap, they're talking about like a parasitic attachment on a literal level.
Yeah.
But then we know the attachment, that phrase in terms of like Jedi attachment. And then what are they trying to say with like, oh, the clones don't have control over their actions with these parasitic invaders, like their brains are being taken over. We know that already the clones have like fail safes or whatever Manchurian candidate stuff in their brains to control them and everything. So like what are they trying to say there?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that episode, you're right. And a few of these episodes like really leave they kind of like leave off on what seems like a positive note, but then like you take a little step back and you're like, oh wait, was everything like really okay that happened there? And like the way we got to things, and then the way we end up like justifying the decisions that were made, and kind of just being like, okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I always feel so weird about where Ahsoka and Anakin leave things off.
Yes, and how that fourth episode ends is very strange. The conversation that him and Ahsoka have at the end about whether or not she should have killed Barriss.
Also,
like
Anakin's like he's kind of losing it already.
Yeah, yeah. He straight up goes dark side mode in these ones.
Yeah.
You were just asking about when is Anakin gonna freak out. Yeah.
I was also saying something about him like being a meddler and that he would meddle so much if he could. And there's something he does, and I forget where it was. We'll probably get to it and I'll remember. But in like one of these first two episodes where I was like, man, he cannot just like let someone else do something.
Yeah. Is it him like cutting off Ahsoka while she's trying to give the briefing?
Yeah. That
was almost a little too much. Like, like
Mm-hmm.
not really, like a little too cartoony or something. But all right, well we can break it down. So the first episode we got is Landing Point Rain. This is directed by Brian Kalin O'Connell, who's directed a lot of episodes and will go on to direct more. He did the Storm over Ryloth. He did some of the Malevolence ones. So pretty competent with directing these, and you know,
he loves his explosions. He loves those ships blowing up.
Totally.
By the way, you know what's funny with those like bug creatures? When we see them get annihilated every now and then, like you would just see the dust around them shoot up off the ground, and you're like, okay, yeah, they got like destroyed and killed there. But like, it's kind of their way of not showing the gore of it. But it's still like total annihilation.
They do sometimes though show just like them like getting straight up cut in half. I mean, they cut away from it pretty quickly, but like they don't necessarily shy away from showing them just like chopping up these Geonosians.
We see some dark stuff in these episodes, actually.
Yeah. Probably lighting them on fire. I mean, that was intense. Written by Brian Larson. So, really this plot here is like we learned from the Senate Spy episode. Poggle the Lesser's got a new droid factory on Geonosis, and they're like, oh man, I thought we just took Geonosis. We got to take it again.
Weird.
And it's ray shielded, and this first episode really is like, okay, we're gonna try and take this factory. 3 different assault groups, we're all gonna meet up together.
It's a rendezvous episode.
But all 3 little adventures are pretty exciting, I would say. We've got a squad that's Obi-Wan and Ahsoka and Rex. Then we've got Obi-Wan and Cody. And then we've got Ki-Adi-Mundi and Commander Jet.
Which, by the way, I don't think I like actually seeing Ki-Adi-Mundi that much.
He looks very weird.
Yeah. It's weird in the animation. I don't know.
This like point on the front of his face is strange.
He looks broken.
Yeah. Um, man, so why not? We already mentioned like really awesome opening warfare. I mean, just straight up feeling like real scary war.
Yeah.
Ships going down, people dying. There's a real like intensity to it.
Man, you know what I was wondering when Obi-Wan was going down too?
Mm,
And they also kind of addressed it later in the episode in a smaller capacity, but I was like, man, can a Jedi use the Force almost as a net to catch their vehicle as it's falling out of the sky?
mm.
And like this is just impossible because of like the speed that it's going. It'd be way too much like force power they'd have to exert. And then I was also when I was like, oh, I wonder if like multiple Jedi could use the Force together to like do something like that. And I was trying to think if we'd ever seen that. Maybe we have before. But Anakin and Ahsoka later stop like the ceiling from crashing down on them doing
Oh
that
yeah,
together.
right. So yeah, you're right. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just like a concentration thing in the moment of like your ship is crashing, and I don't know. And maybe they even did do it a little bit to like keep them from all exploding and dying or whatever. But
Yeah, kind of in my head, I was like thinking that too, just because I'm like, man, you're crashing so fast down
yeah,
into the earth, and like it's sort of just like a rocky little thing for you. But you know,
and we get to see Wexer and Boyle again from the Ryloth episodes.
although Boyle dies, right? Who dies?
I don't remember. I don't
One of them
think either of them
when
died.
Lumina gets captured in the next episode, I think, or the episode after that. She was with one of the clones, and maybe that they named the guy. So
Yeah, she's with one of her own clones though.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
different guy. What's his name?
maybe his name's just like Brawler or something.
It's not Commander Gree because that's her main commander of her green squad, but I can't remember that guy's name, but they did name him, and yes, he does
All
does
right.
pass away. But I think Wexer and Boyle live.
They probably do. I'm mixing up these clones. They all look the same to me.
Well, they yeah.
Quiet.
No, I'm agreeing. They
Yeah.
do all look the same.
He said something where he was like, it was when Obi-Wan crashed and they like didn't know his status, and Anakin they called for like backup, and he's like, oh, Obi-Wan, the one time I need him, he can't help me. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Dude's always helping you.
Totally. I guess he takes Obi-Wan for granted, and he also thinks that Obi-Wan is capable enough to like handle anything by himself. But
They were also beefing, and I'm sorry to jump forward, beefing so intensely in the episode where they go underground.
yeah.
That I thought one of them already had one of the brain invaders in their head or something.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Especially, I thought Obi-Wan, because he was also like, no, we need to
Let's
keep
watch it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like two weird things happened. I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. That was weird when he's like, no, let's just watch it go in Luminara and see how it works.
Yeah. He was like messing with her.
I guess waiting for like this moment to strike or something. I don't know. Yeah, but just really good action in this one. Cool fight on top of that damn thing with Ahsoka and Anakin fighting some droids, and then Rex comes up and helps him out, and then they jump off and have to stop him from falling with the Force and stuff.
Yeah.
Some nice moments.
That's always cool to see. I like seeing them like catch the clones with the Force.
Yeah.
Also, them counting their droid kills was fun. Nice little moment with Kiadi Mundi
Yeah,
there at
yeah.
the end, who reigns supreme in killing droids.
So what do I win?
Yeah.
My unending respect, Master Mundi.
I assure you, he doesn't give that out often.
Yeah. Yeah, just a satisfying, like, well done episode. There's not too much. There is that moment where this might be no, this is in this one where they like run through the shield generator outside, and it's like this long tracking shot, like a wide shot of just Anakin like leading the charge of a bunch of clones behind him, and then it follows them along while like Geonosians are coming in and like picking up guys and like flying toward the screen with like clones in their claws and everything, and just lasers going everywhere. It's pretty exciting.
I don't remember the specific of that scene, but you know,
It was
probably
great.
just blended in for me. But that's cool.
Yeah, and like we talked about before, you know, it kind of is blurring the lines of who are the good guys a little bit in this one. Because, like, I get it. they don't want these droid factories to make droids. But
Super tanks too.
yes,
Let's
they've
put
got
our
these
cards on
new
the table.
these new tanks that don't seem that intimidating.
Super tanks.
And I think especially with Kiadi Mundi and his guys, when they're like lighting the Geonosians on fire, it's pretty nasty. And they're like all screaming and like, yeah, being burnt alive. And on one hand, yes, like, of course, they're like the bad guys. But this is like their planet that you guys are invading.
Yeah.
They're like the native population here, and they're just coming in and lighting all their
searching for weapons
things on fire. Yeah. I mean, there was this real like Middle East vibe to the whole thing.
The Jedi's actions feel weird, like very often. It's like, and it's funny because I feel like I'm in the same boat as you were. Sometimes like, well, what did they want me to take away actually?
Yeah,
because the more you look at it, the less it's like, oh, like they're kind of bad too.
I know. I guess it's just like everybody's bad. Yeah. There's no real good guys in the war.
But that's not what Star Wars is about, also. And I'm not saying these don't even feel like not Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just like, but also I guess have to think of this as a story that's being told in longevity, and once we finish the Clone Wars, we can take a step back and look at the whole thing.
True.
See what they're trying to say in these moments.
And I mean, I agree with you that it's not necessarily Star Wars to be like, there are definitely like good guys and bad guys, but I don't know. I think they are willing to get like pretty nuanced with it and have some stuff that goes unsaid that you're just like, huh, well, that is very morally questionable and strange.
True, yeah, I guess they do that. But I guess I'm meaning like the message you're meant to take away from Star Wars in general. But I don't know.
Yeah, it gets a little murky, and I personally think that's cool, but it can sometimes get like a little too confusing where it's like, okay, well, what are you trying to tell me here? But like the clones are very hateful and racist toward the Geonosians, and they're like, "Oh, those stupid bugs" and stuff like that all the time.
Truly, I was thinking during this, I was like, "Man, are they trying also to tell us like war is just inherently dehumanizing for every side?" Because I was like, "This makes them like look like bad people too." Like again, probably thinking more about Star Wars in this capacity than we should, but like, I don't know, it was making me think like, oh, like even in instances where like you're forced to go to war, it still like lessens you.
Yeah,
like, that sucks. That's terrible.
Totally. And I mean, I think that's a very real thing that at least I've seen from real veterans talking about war, or in more realistic war movies and things, where like they totally otherize the enemy that they're fighting against and dehumanize them to a level, and it's often a different race than, like, obviously from our perspective, most of the war media we consume is like America versus something else.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much every war after World War II has been people with different skin color than white guys and stuff. And I think there's totally something to that I don't know how intentionally they're digging into that in these episodes, but like you always, in Vietnam, like they totally just like group them all together as like Charlie or whatever, and it's like, okay, they're all like this one like hive mind entity.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they're going with the Geonosians too. So I don't know, you just see stuff in war movies where they're like, oh, okay, these are like bad guys. Like they literally say like, okay, got 2 bad guys or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, but to them, you guys are the bad guys.
I'm curious to see where they go with it too, because it feels like this plot line is coming back.
Just with Geonosis in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the brain invaders seems like that's coming back too.
Yeah. I know more Geonosis stuff definitely happens, but I can't remember about brain invaders specifically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it might.
That's weird. I mean, not saying I don't believe you, but
No, I mean it. I know I say that sometimes.
I would just think, Anakin says something at the end of that Brain Invaders episode where he's like, we should probably send word back to make sure that, there's no more of these, and they're doing what we have now presumably figured out they did before, which was take back control of a planet using these brain invaders.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if that was the case, you guys already left. They're probably already on it. Like the planet's already probably on its way to getting taken back over. Right. You would think that'd be pretty quick without, they're not under guidance anymore, really.
I guess they left clones there to just occupy the planet.
Still,
just another conflict in the Middle East parallel.
Yeah. Man, the clone brain invaders could take over that planet then. Whole little...
Yeah. Why? Hey, and then it's like, what's the difference, guys?
Whoa. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the next episode, the weapons factory. This one, we are introduced to a new character. Well, we've got directed by Giancarlo Volpe and written by Brian Larson. We've seen Barriss Offee and Luminara before. We've seen Luminara before in this show.
Yeah, where's Barriss?
In the old Clone Wars show, she was in the episodes where she and Luminara were on the Crystal Caves planet, and Yoda has to come save them.
Okay, I don't remember hers as well.
Droids and stuff. Yeah, they were some of the least interesting episodes of that.
Wow, Barriss was in it though, huh?
Yep, she was.
I liked her a lot in these.
She's super cool and interesting, and a cool foil to Ahsoka. It's cool to see another similarly aged Padawan who has a very different master guiding them.
Their greeting is very funny because of that. She's very stiff and proper, and it's an honor to meet you, and Ahsoka just kind of is howdy doody. Yeah.
Totally. And
the quiet little moment of them all seeing that moment together, and Anakin kind of being like, hey, Padme, see, that's a Padawan, since they just kind of having a fight about respect and everything. So.
Right. Yeah, because that was what we were talking about earlier. He keeps cutting her off during her briefing to the point of being a little goofy and unrealistic, I feel like. But I get why they do it for the plot of the episode and what they're trying to get at with the characters. But yeah, this whole thing is kind of I guess, you don't really come out one way or the other with which approach is better.
Yeah.
But I think, Barriss, like we said, is much more under control, respectful, traditional Jedi values or whatever. She's planned ahead crazy, but almost too much where she can't improvise. And then Ahsoka is resourceful in the moment, good, quick thinker, but a little bit in over her head and unprepared.
Yeah,
and stuff.
They were a good team up, actually. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see them operate together. I didn't think the episode was trying to say one was better than the other. Although, if we look to where Darth Vader ends, I kind of know his story. I don't know if there's a tragedy of Luminara. I haven't heard the tragedy of Luminara, so I don't know what she gets up to. I don't know.
You don't remember that part in Revenge of the Sith when Palpatine's like, "Have you heard the tale of the tragedy of Luminara?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, Barriss Offee stays around and has some more interesting stuff go on with her.
So, are we not ever gonna see the ends of these Jedis towards the end of this series? I kind of have. I guess that wouldn't make sense.
I mean, there are a couple that
we'd have to jump even past Revenge of the Sith, or in that time period.
I mean, most of these big ones that we've been following die on screen in Revenge of the Sith,
Yeah.
but
I guess I want like satisfying endings for them that are not just like in quick beats in that movie. Now that I like know them, you
yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah, you kind of have to just like put them together and be like, okay, these are their stories, and then their end is in
Yeah.
that movie. But I agree, it's like not the most satisfying. But there's plenty of other characters now to like see where their arcs go and things.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people complain recently. Nobody was complaining about Dave Filoni until a couple years ago. Everybody loved the Clone Wars. Now I've seen a bit of a swing online hating on him, but they say that he focuses too much on his pet characters instead of like what Star Wars really should be. Like too much focus on like Ahsoka and other characters that he's invented. And I'm like, we've talked about this before. You're so shackled for all the other characters.
Yeah.
Anakin and Obi-Wan, like, yeah, you can focus on them. You can have interesting character moments with them, but you can't really take them too many places plot-wise because they are on a set track that we know what has to happen with them. So, like,
Yeah.
I understand wanting to focus on Ahsoka or Rex or something like that, where that's totally your freedom to do with what you want.
And frankly, at this point, like I would prefer if you give me a choice and you're like you can get an Obi-Wan episode or an Ahsoka episode, I would choose the Ahsoka episode probably.
Yeah.
I wasn't like so on board with her in the beginning, but like I've grown to she's like the most interesting character in this whole series. Like it's like really fun to see how she changes episode to episode and just to like watch her like react to her surroundings and like watch what the other Jedi are doing and like how she internalizes that is like I don't know, super fun to watch.
I 100% agree. That's my favorite part about rewatching this through is really paying attention to like her character growth and like how she has already evolved quite a lot from our first time seeing her in the movie. Like she's really cool, I think.
I like her a lot. And rough time this episode.
Oh my god. And in the Brain Invaders
True.
one.
Yeah.
We were talking about this last time too, how she is like about to die a bunch of times. And every time she's like, well, it's for the Jedi cause. You know, if it's what had to be done, then so be it.
Yeah, man. It was actually really cool how they were both willing to just go down like that right there and like save their masters in the process.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, the conversation Anakin has with Luminara is crazy because you're like, you kind of know the story's telling you like Anakin's attachment is an issue here.
Right.
But Luminara is like kind of cold about her Padawan potentially
immediately.
Being
Yeah.
She's like, well, that's it. And if the Padawan went down here, that's how it was meant to be, and that's where they went down, and we honor it and we move on.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was gonna bring that up as well because that is intense, and I do get what she's saying at the end, where Anakin's like, "See, I was right. They're alive, and we should have saved them." And then Luminar's like, "Look, I care about them and I want to save them. I'm just saying, when the time comes, I'm ready to let go of my Padawan. Are you?" And it's like,
so
okay,
ready.
bro, you're saying that now, but you were gonna just leave them.
Yeah, you were ready.
Yeah.
So now
yeah.
what? Like you have to just face.
Hey,
Yeah.
welcome back.
Gosh, it was awkward too, when like, because she didn't know what Anakin and her talked about.
Yeah.
Just felt weird.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I'm so glad you're okay. And she's like, oh, it was all Ahsoka. It's like, yeah, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe they are doing things better.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's kind of what I really loved about these episodes, as well as the fourth episode, is they don't really end on like a clear, concise lesson of like this was right and this was wrong.
Yeah.
Like this character approach, which is super common in these kind of cartoons and things, for like you have two characters with like clashing philosophies, and then we see at the end like one of them was too stubborn and then the other one was right or whatever. But this really kind of leaves it up in the air of like, well, there's pros and cons to both approaches.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because in the beginning, some of the stuff Luminara was saying and what her Padawan was saying. What is her name again?
Barris Offee.
Yeah, what Barris was saying. I was like, man, they're spitting out the Jedi rhetoric, like the kind of true Jedi
Oh
rhetoric.
yeah,
So let's see if they live by it.
they're kind of fundamentalists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do kind of live by it, I guess, but in these instances, not great.
Yeah, and so yeah, like at the end of this episode, so Ahsoka and Barris like are going through these catacombs to like sneak their way into the droid factory to blow it up from the inside, while Anakin and Luminara lead like a diversion charge across the main bridge. And at the end, they do blow it up, but they don't have time to get out of there. And like we've hinted at, but they're like, okay, well, it's worth it. Like we have to kind of sacrifice ourselves to take out the factory because like, you know, if these droids and new weapons get out, way more people than us will die. And it's just that very pragmatic, like, math that the Jedi seem to do a lot of like,
Yeah.
well, the two of us dying is better than thousands potentially dying. And then it really comes down to Ahsoka believing that they're going to live once they get trapped. That kind of like keeps them through it, I guess.
Yeah.
Another weird thing, and this almost is like a miss in the writing for me, is how willing Anakin was to lead his clones on like a full frontal charge across the bridge. And he's acknowledging like, yeah, well, this is super dangerous and a ton of my men are going to die, but like, that's what we got to do. I kind of feel like maybe that should have been Luminara's viewpoint, and Anakin is the one who's like, whoa, what are you talking about? Like, we can't put all my men in danger like this. Like,
Yeah.
he kind of, I get that he's like a risk taker and headstrong and whatever, but we kind of go back and forth a little bit on him of like whether he's like overly compassionate to the clones or he's like too ambitious and like aggressive, or you know, those kind of conflict with each other sometimes for me.
Yeah, I guess we don't normally see him like lead an assault in this style either. That is like larger scale like this. So maybe they just like didn't know how to remedy it. So they were just like, okay, he's just gonna rush in. I mean, there's no other real way to do it with and keep it like in the cinematic sense that they wanted it.
Yeah.
But it is like kind of strange, yeah, that he's so willing to just jump in like that on with their behalf, you know?
I feel like it could be fixed personally, like where you just have Luminara have that plan, like with her kind of fundamentalist thing, like, well, we will lose men, but it's what we have to do for the mission. And then Anakin sort of arguing against it, and then maybe she pulls rank on him or whatever, and she's like, I'm on the council, so you have to listen to me, and we're doing what I say.
Yeah.
Potentially. I mean, but that's kind of a little thing, but like
maybe they didn't want us to see Luminara as such a villain. I like her. I think she's cool.
She is cool. She is cool.
But she's a little she's on the edge.
She's a pragmatist, not quite as much as like Mace Windu or Ki-Adi-Mundi, but no, that's all I have for this one. You want to move on to the third episode?
Yeah, that is
Legacy of Terror.
Yeah, it's cool.
The zombies one. This is directed by Stuart Lee and written by Yogan Mahoney. So this one is like, yeah, Luminara and a clone go and investigate this temple, and they find that there's this Geonosian queen that is sending these brain invaders out to hive mind a bunch of Geonosians and with these worms. And I guess the reason why they do that is because they're trying to capture Poggle the Lesser, and he kind of like escapes into these caves.
Yeah, he's like working with her. I guess.
Yeah. But this one is mostly cool because of just the visual aspects of it and the way that the catacombs scenes are directed are quite effective, and it's a lot of like the clones with the flashlights on their helmets or like infrared vision.
So
I mean, it's classic like horror sci-fi stuff where like the flashlight is going around the room and then you see like and somebody get pulled into a little tunnel away and stuff like that. But like,
The scene of Luminara like waking up after she'd been captured also, and it's the POV shot where she's like looking up at the bugs that are
yeah,
like
yeah,
grabbed around her with so like their kind of pale eyes. Super cool also.
great,
Then like when
yeah,
she jumps into action, like just
yeah, lightsaber free, just like kicking them and stuff. That was
yeah.
really good.
And they like kept like we're almost getting her in that corner, and I was like, man, can she not? I was thinking Force Unleashed, man. Could you know she not Force Blast like
Yeah, just push
some
them
of the
all
other
away real
Jedi's can?
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And she's got a green lightsaber, which would make you think she's powerful in force abilities versus like dueling.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think this one is pretty nasty. Like the worm brain invaders are nasty, and
They are.
they are, yeah, just these little green worms, but they go up your nose to take control of you. And we see multiple clones have the worms go up their nose, and then you hear like cracking and stuff when it goes up there, like it's like breaking the cartilage on the inside of their nose and
Yeah.
stuff to get up into their brain. Like, gross.
Yeah, it is really disgusting. We also see like the bug zombie versions. We see them get hacked up much more in this episode than the
Yes.
other episodes because they're trying to like exemplify. Oh, we can't kill them for some reason, but like
Uh-huh.
because of that, you kind of see like their heads get like shot off and stuff.
Yeah, Anakin's like, well, they're like, oh, we can't stop them. Like, they keep coming back up, and then Anakin just cuts one of their heads off,
Yeah.
and it's like, they don't even say anything about it, but it's like, oh, okay, so they're not gonna get up from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty intense.
And the queen is awesome too. I think she's really cool. I was
Yeah.
on her side.
Yeah, I mean, they again, like, that's kind of them bringing up. She's like, why did you come to our planet and start just slaughtering our people? And they're like, well, you know, you're working with this Poggle guy who's making droids and stuff, but she probably doesn't really understand like the larger war conflict going on. She's
Yeah.
just like,
I'm like, she's underground.
yeah, yeah,
Chilling and doing her own thing. And they're like, yeah, the Republic rules you now. Like they tell her that
Yeah.
basically, and like, and they're gonna be very mad with you if you like do anything to us. It's like you guys are not being a very good negotiator, Obi-Wan. I know he tries there, and that's like kind of the point of his like method versus Anakin's there and what
Right.
they're debating about, but he doesn't exemplify it very well.
No, and she doesn't go for it either. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very I think it's a little alien inspired to the visuals of the queen and the egg. Like there's like this part where they first show like the inner lair of the queen, and she's like really gross looking in the body with like this massive worm like bulbous
Yeah, she's cool
body. No, she is cool. And then like
and pretty.
we see, yeah, she's beautiful.
All right.
Her name is Karina the Great.
Ooh, okay. Does she have a swoo card?
I don't think so.
She should.
Yeah, we know Poggle does.
Yeah.
But she like is giving birth to like these eggs, and we see like the little eggs come out of her sack, and then the Geonosians like grab them and put them in these little rows and things. And that was very alien like.
That was grosser to watch too than it should have been. Even like them taking the eggs out.
Very realistic like birthing thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I quite enjoy that they're like going to these weird places. And that to me this is such an iconic shot of them holding the worm up to Luminara and her going like backing away from it. I don't even know why, but that is like super ingrained from the very first time I saw the episode. It was probably in the commercials for it and stuff is why I've like seen it 100 times, but it's just well directed. And yeah.
Did you feel the terror when they were like about to let it get in Luminara? Because I did. I was like, oh, I don't want to see her go through that.
No, I forgot if she did or not too.
Yeah.
Like I thought maybe she was gonna turn.
I also wasn't sure. Like I was like, do you die after these things like take over your brain? Like I don't know what this like. Would she be dead if it happened? So
apparently not. But
I assume it can't be good for your brain then.
No. I mean, it's got to be like blacking out can do like permanent brain damage to you if you are
Yeah.
unconscious for more than like 30 seconds.
Man, all those clones.
Yeah.
They're already messed up brains, messed up even further.
Man, and this one was really making me think about like these guys don't get paid. They're like they just do this.
There is also another moment in one of these episodes, and I think it's the one where they go back underground, where like one of the clones is like slacking a little bit, or like showing some wavering faith in the cause of not wanting to go through with an order,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the clone leader like yells at him for
Yeah,
it, being
yeah.
like, "Oh, are you like you were made to follow orders? Are you do you have a problem with that?" And he's like, "Oh no, sir, no." I'm like, "Oh my god, you're like, what are you afraid? You're afraid. This is a problem." Like,
Yeah, and that's why I think they're trying to say something about that with like, no, you're made to follow orders, and like they are literally genetically bred to follow orders, and then you've got the added layer of these like parasitic worms that completely take over their mind
Yeah.
and make them do their bidding, and it's like, okay, so what's the difference? Like, where is that line of autonomy?
yeah,
Like,
the Jedi are just had the parasite in their own way.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Who are the real brain invaders,
Yeah.
man?
Well, yeah, that is pretty interesting, especially like the clones were created for a purpose, so that's
And-
almost a little more messed up than commandeering. I think I don't know.
Yeah, totally. When like the worms are just operating on evolution and instinct, I guess is the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for, where the clone programming is very intentional and thought out. And we know for a fact that they have switch triggers in their brain that can change how they feel about stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and when I'm watching them, like in the next episode, go around and like roll the eggs around, and then especially when they come into the mess hall and try and kill Ahsoka and Barriss, I'm like, what is the difference between this and Order 66 right now? Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah, actually, man, that's crazy. Also, I wonder if because the way the brain parasites seem to work, based off what the Queen said, is that they gain knowledge of like your knowledge and your thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wonder if like they can see inside and the parasite wouldn't have any reason to share this information with the Jedi really, but does that like hive mind now know that the clones have the capability to just switch like that?
Yeah.
It's a major war intel potentially.
True. That's pretty interesting. I didn't think about that aspect of it, but yeah, like the Queen says, like I know all the memories of all the people now and everything too.
Really
Yeah.
scary. Also, it reminded me of. Did you ever watch The Boys?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you like stay watching it? Like all, I think this happened in one of the later seasons. Maybe one of
I haven't seen the 4th season. I've seen the first 3 seasons.
Did you get to the point where there was like a shapeshifter that like was taking Starlight's personality and stuff?
I don't think so.
Well, I'll not
My
really
memory's
spoil, but it was
bad.
just one of the coolest shapeshifters that I've seen. And The Boys to me is pretty hit or miss with a lot of their stuff, but the shapeshifter that they utilized in this was like a shapeshifter that, like, once they take your form, they have complete knowledge of like all your memories, thoughts, and everything. So your entire life is basically like at their disposal. And the character, their original body was just like a complete sociopath because of like having to go through always knowing what people are thinking exactly, and like I guess just seeing like the worst and most selfish of humanity. But like the scenes with like Starlight getting psychoanalyzed by the Starlight shapeshifter are really, really good.
I don't remember that. It sounds kind of familiar though, but I don't think I saw that.
And the acting, so like she does a great job of really like making it two distinct characters.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I always like seeing like in like Face Off and stuff when like it's an actor being like 2 layers of character.
Yes.
Yeah. That. I mean, it can be bad, but when it's done well, it's pretty cool.
No, I forget which season, if that's 4 or 5, but it's like one of my favorite aspects of that season, like the shapeshifter plot line, because a lot of it is that too. It's like the double layers on top of it, and then also like slightly doing things to fuck up people and being like, "Oops, like sorry."
Yeah, that's cool. That's yeah. I'll probably watch it eventually. I just fell off of it a little bit after the end of season 3 was so disappointing to me.
Oh yeah.
But I do like it in general most of the time.
I kept seeing like clips of it popping up again. I think because the second season of Gen V had come out,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if I'm even gonna watch that one. But
Did you watch the first season of Gen V?
I did, yeah, and I like the telepath character a lot because she reminds me of Emma Frost.
Oh, right.
So,
I haven't seen it, but
yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
But that's the most that I remember from it.
Yeah, I've seen some clips of it here and there. Yeah, but you want to talk about that last episode?
Yeah. Brain invaders.
Mm-hmm. So
And you all get to invade our brains and hear some thoughts about it.
Yeah. It's like, I guess we have like our phone algorithms, right?
Yeah.
Those are our brain invaders.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So like Mace Windu needs like some medical supplies or something. So Ahsoka and Barriss are sent to do that.
I forgot what they were doing. Like it's really not important.
They're gonna go meet up with Kit Fisto at this medical facility to then go to Mace Windu while Obi-Wan and Luminara take Poggle the Lesser into custody or whatever.
Yeah.
With Anakin too. Important that Anakin is there with Poggle. So yeah, like one of the clones is infected on the way in and brings a backpack full of eggs onto the ship, and then a bunch of clones start getting infected, and then that's really the plot, is like, oh, how do we stop the infection? And then at the end, Barriss gets infected, and once again, it's like Ahsoka and Barriss are gonna die, and then they get saved at the last second.
And by the way, can I just say, second time a clone has been compromised, essentially, or really the third, actually.
Yeah.
Not a great look. They need some system for when they're like redocking, reboarding onto their ships of like checking the clones.
That's what I wrote down, is like there's no customs for and it just made me think about it in general, like interplanetary travel is happening so frequently,
destroying biodiversity.
Yeah, just bringing invasive species willy-nilly all over the place. Like,
I guess there's no argument for that, because
they just let them take all these eggs onto. I guess
it's funny in sci-fi though, because like also there's typically, you don't really have often see like, okay, this is a docking station, or like this is an airport. A lot of times in Star Wars, especially, like we'll just land on the planet.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there are certain places where you're like, oh, you got to give the clearance codes to land and whatever, but
yeah, I guess that is a difference between like Coruscant or something than like, or I don't know, this planet where it's like less, I don't know, less like cities, civilizations.
Yeah. And they're certainly not part of the civilization. They're just kind of making their own rules of like, well, we're invading, so we're just going to land wherever we want.
Yeah. I guess you wouldn't dock anyway in the typical fashion if you're invading.
Yeah, but they also leave without checking anything. And this one's also directed by Stuart Lee, written by Andrew Kreisberg. Attachment is not compassion. What are we trying to say about like the worms and the relationship with Jedi and their Padawans, and then the clones?
Yeah, and should Ahsoka have killed Barriss?
Yeah. And okay, so super interesting part of the episode where Ahsoka and Barriss are like in their bunks and they're like, oh, I can't sleep. Let's go get some food. They have a conversation in the mess hall that is really interesting to me, where Ahsoka's like, man, like we were talking about like what we would do when the war is over, and I'm kind of like, I don't really know how to feel about that. And I was like, oh shit, like Ahsoka has been brought up during wartime. Like she's a wartime Jedi.
Yeah.
She doesn't really know anything else. And Barriss, same. Seemingly, they're probably around the same age, it feels like. And then Barriss is like, well, Master Windu says we're keepers of the peace, not warriors. And then Ahsoka's like, yeah, but what does that mean? Like, what's the difference between keepers of the peace and warriors? Like, if it comes to violence as keepers of the peace, we will do that anyway.
She said, "Hey, I'm learning too. I don't know. I don't have all the answers."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's another thing where they don't like wrap it up.
Yeah.
They just kind of throw these quandaries at you.
It's interesting there too, because I feel like she's kind of bad talking Anakin a little, saying that he'd be pretty directionless without a war too, which isn't the best light to be painting your Jedi Master in.
No, but yeah, she says like, because Barriss is like, well, what would Anakin think? And she's like, you might find his views a little radical.
Yeah.
And we see in this episode, like she says, like he's willing to do what it takes to get the job done. And then in this episode, he freaking force chokes Poggle to like torture him and get information.
Cannot leave Anakin unsupervised.
No, bro.
That's like not a good idea.
And
man, he's racking up bad tally marks.
I know. And it's so funny when he comes back and he's like, cold. It's cold that kills him. And they're like, how did you get him to say? We've been interrogating him for a while.
All that matters is I got it, okay?
Yeah, come on. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
I feel like they should have pressed harder there, but I guess they were like, okay, we got stuff to do.
And I mean, is Poggle gonna be like, hey, you just did a war crime on me? Like, yeah. So it ends with Barriss getting parasited, and pretty cool how like the worm like comes out of their mouth when they scream and stuff, and then Ahsoka has to like slice the worm as it's like poking out of her mouth.
I also thought it was so interesting when the worm, in using Barriss's body, used the Force. She did a Force blast there. And I was like, oh. It's like, I guess, like, how in touch with the Force are these creatures? Like, they're a living being? Are they part of, the fabric of that, and can they tap into it? Or is she just using it through virtue of her body, which I guess is probably the case. But then I guess that is why midichlorian counts exist. So there's a physiology aspect to it too.
Yeah, true.
It just like makes you think like, because it was an interesting moment too, where I'm like, oh wow, okay, like the worm just used the Force. Like, are they gonna learn like, oh, this body has the Force, it can do these things.
True.
And can it get in touch with like the dark side of the Force doing that then? Like, I don't know, it was a weird rabbit hole that I wanted to go down.
Yeah, I was hoping it would make someone do something that was like really bad, and then they come back from it and they're like, oh shit, when I was under control I killed someone.
Yeah.
Which like the clones do that, but Barriss doesn't really do anything that you like can't take back or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's too bad they kill a couple clones before they know that you can freeze them, and then after that they're like, don't kill the clones.
Gosh,
we can do
yeah, I
But the
know.
first couple they just kill them. Yeah.
The one who gets just like the lightsaber through their chest, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And they're so intense to the clones that come in and save them from the first two, and they're like, okay, we're putting our weapons down. Like, they're scared of the Jedi.
But even I was unsure. I was like, oh, are they like, how smart is the brain invader? Like,
Yeah.
Which it doesn't seem that intelligent, to be honest.
No, they're all like stiff and monotone when they're parasited.
Yeah. I thought maybe you could like play the game, like the Thing-esque type situation, play the game a little, but no.
But it is a little reminiscent of that though.
Yeah.
And then we've mentioned it before, but this ends with a very weird conversation between Ahsoka and Anakin, where she's like, hey, in that moment, Barriss was like begging for me to kill her so that the parasite didn't spread to the medical station and beyond this ship. Like, should I have done that? And Anakin's like, well, no, because it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, that's always his mentality. It's like, well, if we're okay today, then everything was fine, and we don't need to second guess any of our decisions.
Exactly. And she's like, yeah, but what if it didn't happen like that? And he's like, what do you mean? It did.
Yeah,
so it's fine.
He can't deal in hypotheticals.
No, and I don't know. It's just strange.
Yeah, I'm sure that will like continue to work out for him, and there will never be a spot where he starts to have to sort of spiral.
Right. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And we just saw him straight up force choke and then come back to it being like, hey, Ahsoka, what's going on?
That's the big thing too. I feel like he doesn't feel bad about it at all.
No.
Or like even it's not even a second thought really.
In his head, he's like, well, that's a bad guy, so I'm totally justified to do
Yeah.
whatever I want to him. And the Jedi are honestly pussies that they don't use more like intense interrogation methods on prisoners.
And that's bad because it really reinforces his view because he got exactly the information they needed to do exactly what they wanted to do.
Yeah, but at what cost? I mean,
Well, I
he's
know.
dipping his toes into the dark side.
I know, but he can't see that. He's not going to see that.
Exactly. That's some interesting stuff that it brings up in the Knights of the Old Republic comic as well. Is those no spoilers or anything, but when he does come in back into contact with like Lucian and some of those masters that killed the Padawans, he's like, oh, like, you want to talk about the dark side? Well, you guys have already fallen to the dark side. And all those Jedi are like, what are you talking about? No, we haven't. Like, we did what was right. So why would the dark side be influencing us at all? And then it brings up this whole thing of like, if you genuinely think what you're doing is altruistic and correct, is that a dark side corruption? Do you have to know
weird.
that what you're doing is wrong to fall under its influence?
Yeah, their
like,
consciousness levels to like your force perceptions.
yeah, and they don't provide an answer to that, but it is just like an interesting thing to think about with it.
Yeah, that's strange. Huh. You can gaslight yourself into not being the dark side even though you're doing dark side behavior.
I guess so. That's, yeah, kind of what it seems like. But then, you know, inevitably, I'm sure you would have like some crashing realization that like, oh, actually, I was in the dark side this whole time.
Yeah.
Well, good episodes.
Yeah, I liked them. Do they continue at this this pace?
I don't remember. There are a couple more episodes this season that I remember really liking a lot.
We finally see Grievous again next episode.
Yes.
I know I said I accidentally started like the first minute or so of it.
Yeah,
So
but
I
he's
saw
back.
him.
He's
Yeah.
back.
Which felt weird also, by the way. And then just, you know, sorry, spoiler for like the first 30 seconds of the next episode, but
Come on, dude.
he makes a big entrance, okay? He like
I don't remember.
kicks open a door. He looks much cooler, much more intimidating than before.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see if that holds up for the whole episode.
He does immediately step out of the way, then like send droids in to do his fighting for him. But
Nice.
his entrance was cool.
It's kind of like Vader in the very first movie, you know, when they're on the Tantive 4 and the door opens.
Mm-hmm.
Got the stormtroopers filing past him. Yeah, well, anything else about these?
Nothing else about them.
All right, well, let me just pull up the episode list and see what we will be talking about next time. Okay, so I'll have to think a little bit about what we're going to watch. I know for sure we'll watch the next 3 episodes. Grievous Intrigue, The Deserter.
Okay.
Interesting, about a clone deserter, so we get a little more
Whoa.
clone philosophy. And then Lightsaber Lost. And then maybe because the episode after that is starting a whole other 3 episode arc, so maybe we will do the second Family Guy
Okay.
for this one.
All right.
Let's say, yeah,
Woohoo!
3.
Didn't we do that? Didn't we watch it already?
No, bro. We watched the second Robot Chicken one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, let's do 3 Clone Wars episodes and 1 Family Guy for next time.
Okay, but when are we watching the Phineas and Ferb Star Wars special?
That's much later. I think that's 2016 or something.
Okay, we'll get there.
We're still in 2010 right now.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.